My experience with going to the hospital, like, it was one night, I just kept experiencing stomach pains. Like, it just kept hurting and hurting. I was laying in the bed with my girl and she kept asking me what was wrong. And she kept asking me, did I want to go to the hospital? I kept telling her no. This hadn't been going on for like a week or two.
Oh, a week?
And to the point, like, I couldn't move. She tried to get me up out the bed and I couldn't move. She called the ambulance and the ambulance came and they came and lifted me up and tried to help me walk down the stairs. When I got to the end of the steps, like I just blacked out.
Blanked out?
I just fell out. And then when they got me on the stretcher, I had woke up inside the ambulance and they had IVs, like bags hooked all up to me, you know what I'm saying, giving me fluids. And by the time I got to the hospital, like the doctor really told her, like she would have got me there a split second later, like I was dead.
Russia is taking steps to make a deadly designer drug which is sweeping the country illegal. In the last 2 weeks, more than 25 people have died and 700 have been poisoned after smoking the synthetic cannabis known as spice.
Deadly mix of chemical-coated herbs. These are the effects of spice.
This is Jay Booth with a PSA, stop smoking spice. How you doing today, folks? My name is not important, but my message to you is to stop smoking spice.
Well, we started it as a documentary, and it was more of us just recording what was going on when we was high. And I mean, we got addicted to it. I mean, and I mean, most people looked at it like a bad thing, you know. When we put it out, we got judged, and you know, that was the first one. And people saw it. A lot of people wrote me and told me their testimony, and a lot of people wanted to get involved. And I felt like it's better for us to come out and tell the story as not really spice addicts anymore, as you would say, people who was addicted to it, but we made it out of the select few. Because I mean, he had a near-death experience, you know.
Smoking spice, it caused me, you know what I'm saying, so many symptoms to the point, like, I didn't realize it was affecting my body. I went to the hospital, had internal bleeding inside, it triggered off my ulcers. I was blacking out, you know, just spazzing out, sweating, cold sweats. You feel me, to the point where I felt like I had to have it. But the worst stage was when I stopped, and it was the withdrawal stage. The withdrawal stage is when your body feel like you need it. It's like a chemical. Your body feel like you need that drug, but really and truly, you don't need it, and it's killing you inside, eating up my insides. It was messing with my liver, my kidneys. I couldn't eat. I didn't eat for like 2 weeks. Couldn't sleep. To this day, it's still affecting me.
The spice was this close from killing me. I was dehydrated. I didn't have no fluid in my body. The doctor said I came in just in time because it would deteriorate my muscles so bad that it was affecting my kidney. But thank God, the man above, that I'm still here and I'm free, and I am off spice today. I want to let y'all know, spice is not right, man. Spice is messing up our life. Spice is killing us. I first started smoking spice because I heard it couldn't get in your system for a drug test to pass the job. So basically, I just started doing it so I could get high and have a job at the same time. But it's not a good alternative, because every time you smoke spice, you're flirting with death. It's like you might as well just go ahead and shoot yourself in the head, or the blunt is gonna kill you. Because you're really seeing on social media how it's affecting people. It's like you're not even inside your body, like your soul has left your body. And I got a strong mind. I only had one bad time where I just actually put myself out there and made myself look stupid. It made me feel like I was just a pure demon, and it made me mad at the world.
It really felt like I was tripping.
Every time you smoke spice, it's like you're playing Russian roulette. For Russian roulette, you gotta spin the bullet in the revolver. But every time you take that synthetic marijuana out of that pack and you put it in that cigar and roll it up, and you light it up, every single puff you take, that could be the end of your life. Every time you inhale, it's taken away.
It's a designer drug fad fueled by online videos like these.
I actually feel a little headbutt.
Brian Siegel first heard about it from friends and then saw it on the internet.
The word gets out so quickly, it just spreads like wildfire.
It has names like Spice and Genie, but mostly it's known as K2. It's a synthetic drug with a high likened to marijuana. And if you have not heard of it yet,
thank you for calling the Georgia Poison Center.
they sure have here.
Quick, he's on the floor.
They're up. Is he still?
Yeah, he's on the floor.
Where over 50 calls have come in about K2 in the last 2 months.
We just started seeing a mushrooming of calls.
Nationwide, more than 500 people have phoned poison centers about the drug already this year, up from just 12 calls last year. It's packaged in brightly colored bags, but may only look harmless.
This is incredibly dangerous.
The director of the Georgia Poison Center says K2 can be up to 15 times more powerful than marijuana and lead to a disturbing range of symptoms.
We've seen people with slight tremors to even seizure activity.
Still, K2 is legal in 44 states and easy to get anywhere.
You can order it online, and you can get it in magazines.
It's easy to get.
It's very easy to get.
It's not detected by drug tests either.
Like a dream come true for an addict.
Jason Schmieder says he tried the drug more than 50 times until he wound up first in the hospital.
That was the final straw.
And then here at the Phoenix House, a drug treatment center outside New York City. Meanwhile, the DEA is trying to learn what's in the drug itself. We were granted rare access at this special testing facility near Washington, D.C.
They'll market it as incense or they'll market it as bath salt because then they can say that it wasn't intended for human consumption.
DEA Special Agent Gary Boggs says these tests are part of deciding whether K2 should be a controlled substance.
You might lose your life before you even have a kid or even start your career path, or, you know what I'm saying? You won't even make it out of high school if you smoke spice. You won't even make it to see, you won't even exceed your parents' life expectancy or however long they live. So just don't do it.
What do you say to people who say, well, this isn't illegal, I'll try it?
The fact that they're legal really is almost irrelevant. People are they're basically playing Russian roulette with these every single time they take them.
That's a gamble that means months of rehab for Jason Schmieder.
Said I thought I was having a heart attack. So yeah, that was like the scariest moment of my life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
A warning he worries is drowned out by a quickly spreading reputation. A powerful high that's hard to detect and easy to find.
Call that what you went through redemption. Like you got a second chance. Because I mean, when you hear other people's stories and like some of them are worse than yours, and it makes you feel sorry for those people, but do you look at it and think it could have been you?
Yeah, I look at it that way. It could have been me because, you know, some people actually died from it.
Yes, yes.
Like some people actually, you got a lot of families out here that have lost their children. Some people have lost their fathers, you know, mothers. I just had, you know, one family member recently, like she got real sick behind it. And like the scene where like she done went through being in the hospital like for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Them not knowing what's wrong with her, but you know what I'm saying? She know what's wrong, but you know, a lot of people really didn't want to admit it. They didn't really want to admit what the problem was because they were scared. They was embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? It's like they was ashamed of it. But, you know, as I listen to their stories and I look at them, I feel like I could have been one of those people if I didn't stop. Like, cause you know.
So you would basically say that it is better for people to speak out about it and not hide the fact that, like, if something happened to you and you know while you're in the hospital sick and you know that it's Mojo or Spice.
Yeah, you can speak out about it because you never know what. You know what I'm saying? You speaking out about it might save the next person. you know.
I was on spice, man. They had me out my body, man. I mean, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't functioning right, man. I couldn't. It wasn't having. I just was out my body. Then, you know, I wrecked my car. I then lost my family, my kids. My kids ain't want to be around me because I was on spice. It had them even scared to be around me. That's when I realized I had to stop. It had to stop. It had to come to an end. So I took upon myself and stopped. But now, you know, the withdrawal that I was going through, the pain and suffering that it had me going through, where I couldn't eat for a week. I couldn't barely even sleep, short of breath, chest pain, headache, heart hurting at all times. Feel like I just wanted to give up.
Right now, man, we at the Herd, man. This is my second home. This is where I get all my cardio exercise in my free time outside of work. Man, if you smoking spice, man, it's gonna cut your wind short. It's gonna cut your wind short to where you can't even play 5 minutes without gasping for air. It's gonna do so much harm to your body that you probably won't even get the dunk. How much time you ever put into working? It'll kill you before you even get a chance to even dunk a basketball or even play your first game of basketball. So don't even think about it. Just don't smoke. Just don't smoke the spice.
Me speaking about it, if it touched one person, them speaking about it might touch three to four more people. You know what I'm saying? So you should speak out about it. So you shouldn't hold it back.
So you think the trend should be not just about, oh, I used to smoke it, but the trend should be what it done to me and getting the story out. So it's basically like coming out of hiding from what you do. Like basically you face your demons and let people see what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a strong demon, man. Like to control that right there, to actually get off of that, it's a strong demon, bro. Because I mean, you had heroin addicts and you had crackheads who was like, I don't smoke that no more. I smoke spice now.
This is the effect of spice. A deadly mixture of herbs coated in chemicals, which is then smoked, is turning into a new scourge for Russia.
I remember the feeling it gave me. After some sort of euphoria, I was drowning in a wave of paranoia. I was afraid of going outside, of meeting people. It was horrible.
26-year-old Igor is a former drug addict. He says he has tried pretty much everything from synthetic drugs to different smoking mixes. But Igor believes spice is now one of the biggest dangers on the market.
Because of the chemicals that are used in it, it causes damage to your system straight away. People who use it get addicted very fast and get brain disorders. I've seen it myself.
Another danger that lies within is the availability of the smoking mix and its cheapness. Bags of spice are easily being sold for the price of less than $15.
This number scrolled on the sidewalk in this neighborhood is most likely the number of a drug dealer. Now, some drug dealers never see their customers and text message the whereabouts of a spice stash after receiving a money transfer.
Teenagers are those who suffer the most. Ivan, who is just 17, already lost 2 friends. He says he's just started to recover.
Everything happened so fast. I smoked spice for less than 6 months, but my life changed dramatically. I lost my friends, I was kicked out of school, and then suddenly I realized I didn't have my life anymore.
This synthetic mix is not something new. In fact, other countries have struggled with the problem for a number of years. It emerged in the U.S. in 2010, known as bath salt. It had a reputation for turning people into zombies.
A gruesome scene in Miami.
It became notorious in 2012 when a user randomly attacked a homeless person in Miami trying to eat his face. The authorities blamed the effects of bath salt. But here in Russia, spice is being marketed as a designer drug that's harmless. But the ever-growing list of fatalities proves its lethal force.
If you're smoking spice, you need to just leave it alone because you're really killing yourself. That's the wrong way to go by life. Spice is not the thing. People saying that it's something to go by and passing a drug test and all that, man. If you want to pass a drug test, just leave drugs alone, period. Spice is not the way to go by.
It's not worth it. Your life should be way more valuable to you than chasing what you would call a high. And the stories that you see and the stories that you hear are usually about that. You know, it's usually about somebody who tripped on it. And I mean, we laugh and we find it funny, but when you really look at it, it's sick. But it's not sick in the fact that it's nasty sick. It's just sick in the fact of that's what a drug with chemicals sprayed on it would do to you, and people would actually sell you that to make money off of you and watch you trip. And that's borderline murder to me, you know. And even the charges that you catch for it is not worth it. It's not worth selling it. I mean, you're looking at murder. You are considered a murderer, you know, because you're selling something to somebody that's a poison. And that's bad, you know, and I think the power of $1 that way is not good. Anything you do like that the karma and the consequences that will be put up on you isn't worth it. So like I'm just here to tell you to stop smoking it. And I mean, I'm glad I done the documentary, because now people actually get to see people who actually smoked it. And I mean, these people put their lives on the line because they came out and told people like, okay, I was a smoker, I went through this and I went through that, and they hoping that people hear their story so it's a testimony for the next person. Because we can skip you 20 steps in life by just watching this documentary and quitting. Like, that's it. You can skip those 20 steps and you're fine. But I mean, if you want to go down that road, which I'm telling you now, it's not a road you should go down or you will want to go down, because you won't make it that far. I mean, you'll kick the bucket before you're 22, 23, before you even get to see your child being born, or before you even get to accept your diploma walking across the stage. I mean, and we're talking college. We're talking you have everything ahead of you. Don't lose it off chasing a high that was hyped up. Because it's a hyped up high. I mean, it's not a high to where you oh yeah, I want that spice high. You don't want it. It's a roller coaster, and I'm telling you, that's one ride I wouldn't want to get on. So, I mean, if you want a roller coaster, go to Disney World.